What does it say? Share my screen with everybody? Okay. Okay. I am going to. Okay. I don't know. I can't see if anybody is here. Forgive me. This is my first time. So I am very, very new at this. I don't like to be looking down. That's just weird to me. Okay. Anyway. I don't know, I don't know how to do this. I really need help. I had to get my kid in here to help me do this. Okay, anyway. And I think I need another kind of camera or something. This is okay. So hello everyone. I titled this Are You a Light Worker? And I'm gonna get started a little early. I guess that should be okay. But so I'm Janie. My name is Janie Daly. And I'm starting this vlogging stuff to bring awareness and to bring hope. So many people have lost hope. Suicides are just the numbers are up, and it's too much sadness. So I want to bring awareness because you're a light worker, and people that are light workers, well, I'll get into all that. But let me explain this, give you a little bit of info about myself. I've always been the black sheep. So for those of you that have been the black sheep of the family, you're the different one. I talked to animals. I understood animals. And I thought that everybody talked to animals. I knew what they were saying. My kids used to make fun of me, but I thought that everybody could do it. I thought it was just a normal thing. So I did learn as I was older that it was not a normal thing to understand animals at all. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay. And again, please be patient with me. I'm really just learning how to do this and I'm actually praying that deceased loved ones aren't going to mess around, but they may show up. It wouldn't surprise me. They do that on my Zooms with readings. They kind of pop in or do things. But anyway, so to get back, going back to the thing with the animals, I don't know. I thought everybody could communicate with animals. I thought it was something that it was normal to me. Same with I saw Jesus. I have a personal relationship with Jesus. I have a personal relationship with God. I thought everybody did. I didn't think I was any different. What saddened me is as I got older, finding out, but that wasn't the case, that people felt that they had to be, excuse me, different or that they weren't good enough. And that's not true, which we're going to talk about all that stuff. So anyway, I found out that wasn't the case. But the other thing too, having a relationship with Jesus, having a relationship with God, talking to animals, talking to deceased loved ones, many of us are gifted like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. So to continue, I found out that it wasn't the case, that a lot of people are closed off, or they don't know how. They simply don't know how to do the communication. But I found that out after my mom passed. My mom passed when I was almost 8. And as a little girl, my mom used to she let me be me. You know what I mean? She let me go. So when I would talk about seeing things and talk about God and Jesus and everything, she was fine. She encouraged me. She loved me. She didn't tell me to stop or go in my room, or she was wonderful, actually. Really wonderful. So, but when my mom died, my father kind of passed with her, so to speak. He just, she was the love of his life, and he just kind of lost it, so to speak. But the the one person who did take us in after my mom died, she was not a fan of mine, I'm going to say. And I would hear somebody calling my name, and I would run in and say to her, "Hey, did you call me?" And she'd say to me, "No, I didn't call you. It's probably the devil." I was like, okay, thank you. Yeah, but she wasn't very fond of me. But then again, too, she told me that she got along better with boys, not so much girls. But also that we were raised Catholic. And for those of you that are raised Catholic, it's a little, it's a little strict. And it's very hard to be somebody who has a strong sixth sense when you're told that that's not one of God's gifts like the other five senses, but that the sixth sense is a curse, which again, I'll get into that more. But anyway, so my mom used to take us to church every Sunday morning. And in church, and the priest would be talking about like how God, the fear of God. And I tug on my mom and I'm like, who's that man talking about? The God I know? He's wonderful. He's so nice and so kind, and he loves all of us. And my mom would be like, shh, Janie, enough. So then he'd go on and he'd say something about Jesus. I'd be, Mom, who's that man talking about now? That's not the Jesus I know. So as a result, my mom used to bring mallow cups to church and feed them to me because this way the marshmallow would keep me quiet. But and my mother, I was blessed too. She was a true angel. She really was. She was very kind. Even like, I got to say this. I was born in the 60s, and I remember race riots. And my best friend was an African American girl, and we were the same age, and we were always at each other's homes. And we did ask my mom, why we had different skin colors. And she was wonderful. She just said that we were different, but everybody's different on the outside. Maybe you have different eye color, hair color, whatever. But she said, but inside you look identical. And I was very blessed to have her. Anyway, so I will go into more detail like as I get older, because like I said, I consider myself to be relatively normal. And I just want you to know that you have these gifts too. Chances are they could be just laying dormant, or maybe you're just afraid. So we can change all that. This too. So growing up, I was made to believe that my psychic ability was actually either a curse or something bad, or curse, or mental illness. There's a huge difference between being psychic versus psychotic. Psychic, we're kind souls. We will help everybody. We love animals. We love people. We'll take care of anybody. We're kind. We care. I like to say that I live my life the way that Jesus lived his life, Psychotic people fall more kind of like the serial killers of the world. And I would say most of us don't fit into that range. So be proud of being psychic, if that's what you want to call it. You guys, we have six senses, six, not five. The sixth sense actually works off of all the other fives. And with aging, the five senses weaken, they decline. The sixth sense accelerates. Hence, it's also called wisdom. It's also called common sense. Following your gut. It's foolish to think like that's a gift from the devil. It's like, come on. I mean, look at your eyes, for instance. If you see something really bad, Are you going to say then that your eyes are from the devil because you're seeing something so bad? Of course not. Look at all the beauty that you see. You see like so much beauty with your eyes. So it's like, come on, give credit where the credit is due. Okay, so we are going to, I'm sorry, I had to make notes because I like go off of tangents, big tangents. All right, so light workers. Okay, so as I said earlier, light workers are those of us that have come here to help as many people as possible to make a difference in the world. We are, most light workers have had very, very difficult lives. Very difficult lives. I was actually, I were telling you, we can have like hellish upbringings. I lived in 15 different homes from the time that I was 8 years old to 17 years old. Because as young kids and back in those days, we lost our mom. And losing my mom, definitely losing my mom and having a strong psychic ability, psychic senses, I was more rebellious. I'm very scientific. And you guys, let me tell you, I like the proof. I like the proof. That's why when people come to me for readings, I will get signs to give you, and you will see those signs, hear those signs. You'll get them. And it's not that I don't trust, but okay, I always say that I work for God. So God is my boss. Jesus is my manager. And Archangel Michael is my head of security. And I did a contract with God when I started doing this to not hurt anyone or to take this gift and abuse it in any manner. But I get God dreams, and they're very telling. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this, but we will talk about dreams. We're going to talk about astral traveling other times, sleep paralysis, the whole bit. There's so much to talk about with this topic, so much. But anyway, so I want to teach this. And I said to God, yeah, I'll teach it. I will teach it. I've lived this. I'll teach it. But I'm not going to give you my opinion. It's kind of like politics right now. Nobody likes anybody else's opinions. But I don't want to give you my opinion. That doesn't matter. I want to teach you from the other side. So, so I was raised Catholic. So I was raised to believe that God is male. So, and I'm okay with that. You don't have to be okay with that. God will appear to you the way that you were raised to believe or how you believe. But I know that with God, I'll have the first dream was just amazing. But I just heard like this big booming voice. Anyway, so he goes on. I've never seen him in my dream, but I hear him. And then at the end of my dream, he'll laugh and I'll be like, I know, Janie, I know. You need proof. So one particular day, that night, actually, I was having a dream about the microwaves and how if I stopped using the microwave, my health issues would improve drastically. And and then he explained to me too, why the microwaves aren't any good and what was wrong with them and how they affect the body. So at the end, when he said, I know you need proof, I was like, yeah, thank you. So the next morning, my one son was getting ready for school and I smell smoke and I'm like, oh my gosh, Kenny, what are you doing down there? So I run and he's like, Mom, the microwave just started smoking. And it was a new microwave, right? It was new. And I was like, oh, that's it. that was my sign. That sign was good enough for me. I unplugged the microwave, pick it up, put it by the front door. The kid's crying, going, Mom, how am I supposed to make my oatmeal? The stove. But anyway, just an example. And I do that in my readings too. I will be told that you will see signs, and it's guaranteed. Like everybody always calls me, oh my gosh, when you said I was going to see, do I act, am I surprised? No. I mean, I'm happy, and I'm happy that you were aware enough to be aware, to look around and to be aware of the signs. But does it surprise me? No, makes me happy, but it doesn't surprise me. But anyway, so life, life. It's all about school, you guys. This is school. This is school. This is it. Till the day you go home, it's school. So the day that you say that you know it all, that's not good. I mean, that's like sending your kids to school, an expensive school, and they're just like not going to do anything but just like, hang out, party, whatever, and not learn anything. It's a waste, big waste. So you're learning. We're learning every day, and you're earning your wisdom. Let's see. Okay, and then also, like I said, remember too that the 5 senses, they do start to decline. 6 sense increases. This let me go into this part. Okay, I did meet Jesus as a child. I'm going to share more about that at another time because I'm sure that you guys have interesting things that have happened to you. But I will tell you that it happened. It was after my mom died, and my grandmother and I, we did not get along. And that's kind of saying it like in a nice, polite way. We really didn't get along. And I just remember I was like in bed, and we had shared a room. She had these fancy the pineapple beds, and not like SpongeBob, you guys. They're antique beds, but anyway. So she's sleeping on her side on her bed, and I was crying to Jesus, and I was saying, I just want to go home. I want to be with my mom. And I was like crying quietly because I didn't want her to wake up and yell at me. So I'm wiping my tears, and I start to see glitter light at the foot of my bed. Meanwhile, I had just made my confirmation. So my silver cross also was like on the chair, neatly on the chair at the foot of my bed also. And that's actually what happened. Like when I was wiping my tears, I looked and I noticed that my silver cross was lighting up. And the light, instead of going like straight across where it should have been, it was coming like in front of me. And then I'm just staring, and out of the light, like glitter, I see Jesus. And I was like in shock. The thing that I remember the most was the love, the feeling. It makes me like kind of still cry when I think about it. The amount of love that he has for us is just amazing. Not even a word for it. But it's like, you guys are loved too. We're like so loved. And the same with like your deceased loved ones. It is sad when somebody has to go home. But the other side is, they went home. They can still see you. They still torment you. They still do things. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. In my readings, trust me, I've had crazy things. I've had some crazy things happen. And they think it's funny. But the other side of that too is the love that they feel for you. It's comparable to the love that I felt emanating from Jesus, that night. And they've never left. They never laugh. They never leave us. It's a big, long thing, which we can get into that later, much later down the road. But it's just, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. So, oh, and then I have so much to talk to you guys about. So much. If you have questions, feel free to submit your questions to me. I probably haven't set everything up, but I would love for you guys to subscribe and like. And I'm going to be posting like just some teachings. I'm not going to do everything live because this is kind of awkward how this is set up. So I don't even know if my sound is coming through well. I don't even know. So I'm not crazy about that. But the thing of it is too, with people like us, we're different. We're really different. It's okay to be different. It's wonderful to be different. Don't worry about what other people think about you. The lesson with that is do the best that you can. You know, you do the best that you can do. Be kind. Have compassion. Somebody comes up to you and they're nasty. They're not nasty because they don't like you or they don't like what you're wearing or whatever. Chances are maybe they just got really bad news, you know, and just say it's okay. Smile at people. And, you know, for all of us that are single people, it's like, come on, you got to put your phones down. Kind of be like the old days where, you know, you go to the grocery store and you would say hi to people. But I mean, that's not even just to be single, that part I was just kind of being facetious about. But on a real note, people need you to say hello. People need you to smile at them. So it's important. Put down your phones, please, and be aware of where you are. Be aware of the people around you. Because, you know, a lot can happen too that is not the best. And you could be that person who could be responsible for changing somebody's life for the better. But how are you going to know unless you are aware? I am going to go over with like chakra cleaning. I'm going to go over with healing. One of the things that you can do in the meantime is I want you to look at your palm. I don't know if you can see mine. Do you see that big X right there? That's called the healing X. It's the healing X. What happens is it gets very hot when I'm around somebody who's really sick. The first time that I really learned about the X, I was outside playing ball with my kids, with my boys. And I'm out in the yard or out at the park in the winter. And my youngest son hit a ball really hard. And I just, not thinking, I just reach out and I grab the ball. And I'm like, it's like, wow, I caught it. But the thing that it wasn't, because I'm kind of tomboyish. So, I mean, I wasn't catching it. But he really hit that ball hard. And I noted that it was like, wow, my hand didn't even hurt. That was weird. Anyway, so then I just kind of ignored it, went back to playing ball. That night, I was on the phone, old-time wall phone, doing dishes, and I hear glass in the sink. I pick my hand up out of the water, and there's like shards of glass in my hand. So I said to the person, yeah, I think I gotta go. So I hang up, and I started picking the shards out, and I watched my hand heal up. So my first actual healing was with Lily Bell, who has since passed, God bless her soul. But somebody had thrown her in a dumpster and beautiful dog. She was a beautiful dog. So they had thrown her in the dumpster. This wonderful man got her out, and her paw was broken when I took her out of the box. And oh my gosh, I take her to the vet. The vet actually, and whenever somebody tells you something and it's like a weird story, and you're like looking at the clouds going, what? It's divine intervention. That means it doesn't make sense, but there's a good reason for it. But it's probably not one that you're not going to understand it right away, but it will make sense. Yeah, so the vet's telling me that he's going to fly an ortho doctor in. I was like, for my dog's leg? Wait, I mean, I love her, obviously. I literally just got her off the road. I would do whatever, but I'm just thinking, cha-ching, cha-ching, flying somebody into town. Like, so anyway, but he said, in the meantime, I'll cast it. Okay. He cast it. And you guys, I kid you not. And I don't know why I do what I do sometimes. It's other side driven. But I kept taking, I went back 2 other times. So she had three cast, 3 cast on her legs. So I kept taking them off. And one night I couldn't sleep. So it was like 3 a.m. and she was crate training because she was a puppy and still potty training. So I go in and I said to her, I got her out and I said, come on, you can lay on the couch with me. And of course, I had taken off the cast yet again. So, and again, it didn't even like register why I'm doing this. Again, I just do what I do, whatever. So here it is, the middle of the night. I'm laying with her on the couch and I'm saying, oh, I love you so much. And I heard a man's voice say, put your left hand on her leg. And I was like, huh? No, left hand, leg. Okay, do it. Yes, sir. And I have learned now, I just do as I'm told. Just do as I'm told. So I did. You guys, I could feel, because it was her left paw, left front leg. I could feel the bones realigning in my hand. They were literally realigning. So, and this is the interesting, crazy part. Do you know the next day, everybody got up, myself included. Nobody questioned the fact that Yelly Pal didn't have a broken leg anymore. No, she didn't have a broken leg. It was healed. And then the same thing happened with the cat. And I was hit by a car. Only this time, this is kind of a longer story, so I'm not going to go into all the detail. But I will tell you that when we found her, she had a broken hip. She was pregnant. She had a useless rear right leg. Okay, so I take her to the vet, and the deal was if she tested positive for feline leukemia, then she would put her down. So I said, okay, that's a deal. Because I found her, my youngest son and I found her at a gas station. The poor little thing was licking up old, dry gum off the ground. Anyway, so the vet comes in with a needle. And I was like, oh man, she has it. No, she says she has heartworm. I go, well, that's not feline leukemia. I know, but it's just as bad. No, that's not our deal. That was not our deal. So I take my new cat back with me at home, and I started healing. And animals know, you guys. Animals know. They know. It's amazing. They come to you. They'll sit on your lap. Your hand will heat up, or hands. Sometimes they work together. Put your hand on them. They wait, and they know when to get up and walk away. They take a break, and then they come back. They know. Animals, I swear, are like angels. They know. So anyway, I was supposed to bring her in for a I was supposed to bring her in for a not a hysterectomy, for a live, I mean, a birth, a C-section. And but I called and I said to the young lady at the desk, "Oh yeah, I was calling about the C-section, the scheduled C. She's she's been bleeding. She's, she has her menses. She's been bleeding. So she's lost the kittens." And the poor young girl goes, "Oh, well, what do you know what happened?" I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been doing healing on her, and I think the healing was just too strong." And she was like, "Okay, yeah." And I said, "Yeah, but how about the appointment, like, to get her spayed?" "Yeah, that's still on the schedule," she says to me very hesitantly. So, "Hey, thanks. Have a good day." Hang up. Um, but then I take her back to the same vet to get, spayed. We end up, because I made that appointment. Yeah, because we didn't have, anyway, I called to see if the cat was ready to be picked up. And the girl says, yes. And I said, "Could you tell me how much it is?" So she tells me, and she goes, "But you're not being charged for the x-ray." "What x-ray?" "Oh, the x-ray on her hip, for her hip and her back leg." Was there a problem? Because keep in mind, the hip was healed. She was walking on all four legs. The healing worked 100%. Come to find out, the vet, when I brought her in for the spaying, saw that this cat had no broken hip and all four legs were walkables. And she couldn't believe it. So she x-rayed my cat without letting me know this. But anyway, it's amazing. It's an amazing life. Nothing to be afraid of. I mean, like anything, too, there's bad and there's good in everything. But it's kind of like this, if you walk outside in the middle of the night, it's kind of foolish to be like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go outside and just wear my summer wear. Oh, and I'm not even going to think about taking any precaution. I'm just going to walk out in the middle of the night." That's foolish. I mean, you always need to be careful with everything you do, because there's bad and there's good in everything. So, and we'll get into all of that, I promise. But overall, it's beautiful. The sixth sense is beautiful, and you're a light worker. So continue to make the difference. I have learned that people who come to me, they're light workers. You're here to make a difference. So continue to do so. Know that I send you many, many angel hugs, blessings, and so much love. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for listening.